The heroic rabbi who saved this baby by chance is being called a living legend, and rightly so. Look at this amazing footage of this rabbi saving a baby who was floating in the water like a piece of wood. A person can be seen walking along the shore when they notice something unbelievable. Floating in the water is a small baby. The baby appears to be unconscious and is floating further away from the shore. People on the shore start screaming and shouting and try to get closer to the baby, but the current is just too strong. Luckily, this heroic rabbi was close by. He immediately jumped into action to save this baby. This incredible event took place in Israel, which is known for its strong currents. Even though the water looked calm, it had a very strong undertow that could easily take anyone who went in. It was only a matter of time before the baby's head hit the sand and drowned. But luckily, this good Samaritan was there to help. The people on the shore were screaming because they couldn't do anything. They didn't have any life-saving equipment, and even if they did, they couldn't possibly go out into the water. If they tried to save the baby, they would also get swept away. The waves were way too big and it was simply too dangerous. The people on the shore could only watch helplessly as this baby floated further and further away. But then suddenly, a miracle happened. This brave man in black ran over and jumped into the water without hesitation. You can see him in the distance swimming towards the baby. But the question is, how can he possibly reach the baby? The current is just way too strong. He'll never make it out there. But this man didn't panic. Instead, he used his head and improvised an amazing flotation device. While swimming, he opened up his black jacket and turned it inside out. Then he used his jacket as a flotation device. Slowly but surely, he made his way to the baby. The people on the shore were cheering him on, hoping he would make it in time. As he got closer to the baby, you can see him grabbing the baby's body and trying to keep their head above the water. The baby was still floating face down, so the man quickly rolled them over. That way their mouth would stay closed and they wouldn't accidentally swallow any water. Now that the baby was safe, the heroic man carried them back to shore. Once he reached the shallow waters, other people came over to help. They all pulled together to get the baby onto the beach. The man who saved the baby was a rabbi from a nearby synagogue. His name is Shmuel Eshkar, and he's being called a living legend after this heroic deed. Rabbi Shmuel Eshkar was just doing some routine maintenance on the beach when he saw the floating baby. He told reporters it was all muscle memory. He used to be a lifeguard many years ago, so he knew exactly what to do. And look at these amazing pictures of him holding the baby after he saved their life. What a hero. The baby boy was only 6 months old and was identified only as Eden. Fortunately, the baby only suffered from mild hypothermia and was in good condition. The mother, Hallel Fireman, was on the beach taking pictures when her son was suddenly swept away by a large wave. She said she felt a huge wave hit her from behind, knocking her off balance. When she turned around, she realized her son was nowhere to be found. She started screaming for help, and thankfully people on the shore saw what happened and immediately alerted the emergency services. When the paramedics arrived on the scene, they rushed the baby to the hospital. But as we said, he only suffered from mild hypothermia and was released later that day. Here are the relieved parents holding their baby boy after he was miraculously saved. This really was a perfect save. If the rabbi wasn't there, the baby would have almost certainly drowned. But not only did he save the baby, he also protected their dignity. When the baby was floating in the water, it was completely naked. But when the rabbi pulled them out of the water, he made sure to protect their modesty by covering them with his jacket. What a stand-up guy. And speaking of stand-up guys, let's have a look at another video of a man who saved a baby. In this next video, you're going to see a man jump into a lake to save a baby, and in the process, he also saves the mother's life. These people were enjoying a fun day at the lake when the unthinkable happened. The baby was playing near the edge of the lake, with the mother filming, but then suddenly the ground gave way, and both the baby and the mother fell into the water. Luckily, this quick-thinking man was close by and jumped into the lake. He managed to grab the baby first and pull them out of the water, but then he noticed the mother was still stuck in the mud, so he quickly went back in and pulled her out as well. You can see everyone on the shore running over to help. The man who saved them is being thanked by the crowd. Everyone is cheering and applauding, but the truth is, he only did what anyone else would have done. He was just in the right place at the right time. Well, maybe that's not entirely true. He probably had some first aid training and knew exactly what to do. Either way, this man is a hero. If you think about it, this man saved 3 lives that day. First, he saved the baby's life by pulling them out of the water. Second, he saved the mother's life by pulling her out of the mud. And third, he also saved the dog's life. If he hadn't jumped in when he did, the dog would have also drowned. It's amazing to see how this man remained so calm. He quickly assessed the situation and knew exactly what to do. You can see how the baby is struggling to free their head from the water. So the man quickly tilts the baby's head upwards. That way the baby could breathe and wouldn't drown. He then grabbed the baby with 2 hands and swam towards the shore, all the while protecting the baby's head. Then he quickly handed the baby to one of the people on the shore and dove back in to save the mother. When the mother was pulled out of the water, she was coughing and spluttering, but thankfully she was okay. Here's the heartwarming moment when the family was reunited after this traumatic ordeal. The mother was overjoyed to see her baby was okay. And look at how happy the baby is when the mother cradles them. These moments are simply priceless. Unfortunately, sometimes even heroes get hurt. Just ask this police officer. This officer was rescuing someone from a burning building when suddenly the building collapsed. You can see him desperately trying to save this woman, but there was nothing he could do. The building had completely collapsed, and there was no way he could get her out alive. Even though the police officer tried his best, the woman tragically lost her life. Sometimes even heroes can't win them all. Speaking of which, here's another story of a hero who sadly lost their life. This scuba instructor was teaching a class when his student panicked underwater. The scuba instructor immediately went to help, but unfortunately, both of them ran out of air and tragically died. Sometimes being a hero means making the ultimate sacrifice. Now, before you go, I need some feedback. Which video was your favorite today? The heroic rabbi or the man who saved the baby and the mother? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more videos like this, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.